Mic check, mic check.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. In a few moments, we will begin our ceremony. As you take your seats, please silence your cell phones as we listen to the Union County High School Symphonic Band, under the direction of Miss Kelly Dorsey, perform Fanfare for the Common Man.
Good morning. On behalf of the Superintendent of Union County School District, Mr. Carlton Falk, and the Superintendent-elect, Mike Ripplinger, and the Union County School Board, I would like to welcome each of you to today's Veterans Day celebration ceremony. This celebration is being live-streamed to all schools in the district, and we welcome all those attending virtually. This morning, we paused to come together to pay tribute and honor the men and women who have served in the United States of America Armed Forces. This morning, we gathered to better understand the importance of this day and to gain perspective of what it means to be a veteran. I would also like to welcome each of our veterans today to today's celebration. It is because of each of you and your service to this grateful nation that we gather today to celebrate you and those who have come before you. You have served faithfully both home and abroad. You have served across the European continent and the Pacific. And whether on land, high in the air, under the depths of the sea, our veterans have served this country with honor, strength, humility, and with great dignity. Today we gather to say thank you for your service. We say thank you for standing between us and those who wish to bring America harm. Thank you for answering the call to freedom. Because of your service, we may gather together today under the flag that still represents the greatest nation on earth. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Gene Gordon, the chaplain of our local American Legion, Post 153, to offer our invocation for today's ceremony. Please stand as he delivers our invocation, and remain standing as the Union County High School JROTC Color Guard presents the colors, which will then be accompanied by the Union County High School Symphonic Band in playing our national anthem.
Please bow with me as I pray. Almighty God, in whose presence we dwell, we honor you as the divine creator of heaven and earth, the Father of all mankind and judge over all nations. We deem this a fitting time on this Veterans Day to honor the men and women who served in our nation's military, both the dead and the living. For love of country, they placed themselves in harm's way, often in some desolate, harsh nation defending our freedom. It is our responsibility to ensure the sacrifice of these brave men and women are never forgotten. Though we can never repay them, we can never replace them, we can always remember them. Finally, O God, your holy scriptures records severe punishment upon all nations that obey not the word of the Lord. What has been settled in heaven can never be undone by the ways of men or the schemes of the devil. The government is ordained to provide for the common defense of a nation and promote the general welfare. The government cannot make you better nor save you. Only the gospel of Jesus Christ can do that. Forever glorify the one who willingly gave his life to save us, as we have no power to save ourselves. In the happy moments, praise him. In the difficult moments, seek him. In the quiet moments, worship him. In the painful moments, trust him. But in every moment, thank him. May God bless America. Amen.
You may be seated. As the band plays the song for each branch of service, we ask those in attendance today to please stand when you hear your branch's song played so that we may acknowledge and recognize you.
Good morning. Getting old, you have to figure out whether you need glasses or not. Okay, today we're going to look at why do we celebrate Veterans Day? All across America today, there are many ceremonies that will take place to honor veterans. From large cities to small towns, at monuments and military installations across the country. We will take time to pause and commemorate the service of our men and women who wear and have worn the uniform of our armed forces. But as this is done, we should stop to consider why we do this. Why do we place an emphasis on showing our gratitude for the service of those who pledge to defend our country? Veterans Day is a day in which, as we as a country stand united to pay our respects to those who have served this nation. Men and women have answered the call of freedom for this nation even before it began. While we all know that on July 4th, 1776, we declared our independence from England with the Declaration of Independence, many do not remember that nearly a year before that June of 1775, the Continental Army was established. This was followed by the Continental Navy and the Continental Marines being established in October and November of that same year, respectively. For the past 244, brave individuals have heard and answered the call to fight for and to protect freedom in America and Americans' behalf around the world. Veterans Day originated as Armistice Day on November 11, 1919. This day recognized the first anniversary of the end of World War I. Congress passed a resolution in 1926 for an annual observance, and on November 11th became a national holiday beginning in 1938. Unlike Memorial Day, Veterans Day pays tribute to all American veterans, living or deceased, but especially gives thanks to living veterans who served this country honorably during war or peacetime. In 1954, President Dwight Eisenhower changed Armistice Day to Veterans Day. Today is a day set aside for remembrance and thanks to our military men and women. Over the past 245 years, Americans have fought bravely on our soil and overseas. They stopped tyranny and fascism as they liberated Europe, island hopping across the Pacific to thwart the imperialistic empire. They pushed back communist aggression in Korea and Southeast Asia and freed millions held captive by madmen in the Middle East. Today, they fight against terrorism and other threats that are not defined by boundaries on a map or uniform worn by the opposing forces. Our veterans have been part of the greatest military machine in history and have brought strength and justice against our enemies. These same men and women have also brought aid and comfort to those devastated by natural disasters and man-made miseries. A force that is capable of great destruction is equally capable of great compassion and relief. Whether they came from the Deep South, the Midwest, West Coast, the Northeast, or gained citizenship through their service, veterans found camaraderie through their shared service that formed bonds forged through duty, honor, and courage, each of them adding to the fabric of America and demonstrating the best this country has to offer. Veterans deserve our respect and admiration. For generations, they have stood between us and those who wish to do us harm and destroy our way of life. Our veterans have placed their lives and freedoms on hold while our lives continue without interruption. They have served with honor, courage, and distinction, and we will always be indebted to them for what they have done for us. Today, we say thank you to our veterans. Thank you for our selflessness, service, and your contributions to our society and community. Thank you for your strengthening of country and helping it maintain a position of strength and prestige in the world. I ask all of our students, faculty, and staff to stand and join me in applause as we show our gratitude for our veterans. May God bless our veterans, and may He continue to bless America. Thank you.
back a little bit to our great country, and Veterans Day is an opportunity to thank those who have gone before us and defend our freedom. Thanks.
Hey Union County, my name is Josie Godwin. I graduated from Union County High School in 2019, and I'm currently serving in the United States Marine Corps. Serving in the military means a great deal to me, that I stand along my brothers and sisters that carry the same core values as me: honor, courage, and commitment. Veterans Day should mean as much to you as it means to me, that we pay our respects to the ones that have made the ultimate sacrifice and continue to every day. All right, Union County, y'all have fun. Peace out.
For those who don't know me, my name is Ty North. I graduated Union County in 2019 and am serving in the United States Army. I am currently deployed with 3rd ID Infantry Division in Korea. Serving in the military is an honor to be part of something bigger than yourself. Veterans Day is a good opportunity to give thanks and remember those who have given the ultimate sacrifice. Kumoya Kirikuchun Otie.
My name is Staff Sergeant Kyle Chafe. I'm currently serving in the United States Army. I graduated from Union County High School in 2013. Here to talk to you about serving the military means to me and what Veterans Day means to me. Serving in the United States military means a lot to me. There's a lot of honor, duty, and respect that go into it. I try to strive and maintain that each and every day I serve. We're the 1% of America, and that in and of itself means a lot. What does Veterans Day mean to me? Veterans Day means a lot. I have family members that have served, and that's partially why I serve. There's both past and present veterans, and they deserve all respect and recognition. They took time out of their lives, sometimes months and years away from their family, just to serve their country. If you see a veterans this Veterans Day, go out of your way to try to do something nice for them, or just thank them for their service. Other than that, have a good one. Go Tigers.
My name is Rich Smith, class of 2017 in Union County, and in the Air Force, been in for about 3 years. Being in the military to me is about being a part of something that's bigger than yourself and serving your country. You know, I know everybody says that about serving your country, but to me, that's just, it's bigger than anything that you can find in Union County. And Veterans Day to me is about honoring those people that served before me and did their part so that I could grow up in a country that was as great as America in a little town like Lake Butler.
Good morning. Master Sergeant Scott Thomas is a native of Union County and a 2000 graduate of Union County High School. He was most active in baseball, basketball, and JRTC. He played varsity in both baseball and basketball, and then he also became the battalion commander for JRTC of UCHS. In his junior year, he enlisted in the Army National Guard on his 17th birthday, and then that summer he went to basic combat training, and then he came back to finish his senior year at Union County High. He attended several training opportunities in the U.S. Army and had aspirations of joining college at University of Florida. However, the attack of September 11th, 2001 had changed his life forever, and any dreams of civilian education would have had to have been put on hold. Master Sergeant Thomas was then recruited by the U.S. Army Special Forces, one of the military's most elite fighting forces, specialized in unconventional warfare, direct action, counterinsurgency, and counterterrorism, and then much more. Master Sergeant Thomas completed rigorous training, creating more opportunities to serve and fight oppression all around the globe. Special Force qualified, and having deployed multiple times with the Army, Master Sergeant Thomas recruited by the FBI's Hostage Interrogation Unit rescue team to provide a similar body of work and based on unique skill set and experiences. Master Sergeant Thomas deployed several times with the hostage rescue team in support of different national security presidential directives. Master Sergeant Thomas deployed several times in support of Operation Enduring Freedom, Afghanistan and South America, Operation Iraq Freedom, Operation Observant Compass, Africa, and Operation Inherent Resolve, Syria and Iraq. Master Sergeant Thomas continues to serve on active duty in Florida Army National Guard and is stationed at MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa, Florida. Master Sergeant Thomas awards include the Bronze Star, Defense Meritorious Service Medal, Joint Service Commendation Medal, 3 Army Commendation Medals, Joint Service Achievement Medal, 4 Army Achievement Medals, Combat Infantryman's Badge, Master Parachute Badge, Halo Jump Master Badge, Special Forces Tab, and much more. Master Sergeant Thomas is married to Christina Thomas. They have 4 children, Nicholas, Ryan, Francesca, and Giovanna. All attend school here in Union County. If you would help me welcome Master Sergeant Scott Thomas.
All right, good morning. Can certainly file this under things I thought I'd never be doing in my life. It's pretty cool though, especially having grown up here. I'd like to thank Mr. McCusker for giving me the phone call, asking me to do it, and then Mr. Ripplinger and Mr. Falk for allowing it to happen. So, good morning. We touched on it a little bit. We probably should have coordinated this a little bit better. But talking about Armistice Day. Armistice Day originally happened the 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month, which was an agreement to cease fighting at the time in Europe. So that was from World War I was from 2014 to 2018, and then a year later, President Woodrow Wilson at the time made the determination that in order to celebrate the victory and the veterans of World War I, he would deem the 11th of November as Armistice Day. And then you mentioned in 1926, Congress recognized Armistice Day for all veterans, not just veterans of World War I. And then in 1954, President Eisenhower changed the name of it to Veterans Day. And then what I'm tracking is the most recent and final change is in 2016, President Obama signed a Veterans Moment of Silence, which is to occur this afternoon at 3:11, which allows Americans a moment of silence, 2 minutes moment of silence to recognize veterans in their service. Okay. A little bit about me. When I enlisted in 1999, I had no idea that I'd be going down the road that I ended up going down. We talked, you mentioned after September 11th, my life changed forever. It absolutely did. And at one point or another, I absolutely went all in. And in doing so, I wanted to be a part of what I considered the best. So I wanted to be a Green Beret. I wanted to try out for Special Forces. And sometimes you sling it to the wall and you see what sticks. And I certainly have been successful in regards to training, in regards to several different opportunities, deployments. I've deployed all over the world. Not a lot of great places, but certainly I've been able to participate into some pretty awesome things. I have been on a Chinook helicopter, a CH-47, on a four-wheeler, shooting out the back with guns mounted in Iraq in 2006 and 2007. I've stood at the back of a C-17 at 30,000 feet with oxygen masks on and done a gainer in full combat equipment. So I've certainly been able to participate into what I would consider some pretty fun, pretty exciting things. Missions, Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom, I've been there a few times. One mission in particular that comes to mind, it was in 2010. There was a village that was really a Taliban stronghold. A little history about this stronghold. It was not easily accessed. Actually, another history lesson, as Russia occupied Afghanistan in the 80s, they actually had no access to get to this location. The only way that we, since an Operation Enduring Freedom, figured out how to get in there was by air assault. So that's coming in and landing in helicopters. The name of this particular mission was Operation Iron Locust 10. Now, Iron Locust 10, what that means is there were 9 other attempts to take this stronghold. And the American soldiers and servicemen from all branches had been repelled out of that Taliban stronghold. They've been doing it a while. They had the home court advantage, right? So they had fighting positions, several locations. So the conventional military came to my special forces commanders at the time, and they said, "Hey, we just took heavy casualty here on Iron Locust 9. Can you take your Afghan commandos and try to do what hasn't been able, what's never been done?" So eager at the task, my commanders are absolutely, yes, let's do it. Meanwhile, everybody else on the A team is like, well, maybe we should take another look at this, revisit this. So, well, in doing so, we did. We were able to analyze, all the previous mission data and come up with what we thought was a good plan. And one of the many great things that I love about being in Special Forces is we're force multipliers. We train the trainer. We can go in, we can train an indigenous force, and then we can lead that force into combat. And what that does is that it allows for a smaller American soldier footprint or serviceman footprint, and it allows the opportunity for those indigenous, those native, people to then fight for their own country. So the task is upon us, right? My commander's like, all right, Scott, I want you to lead the primary assault. And I'm like, all right. And he's like, all right, so we're going to have flanking movements here. We're going to have flanking movements here. We're going to set up security. It's going to be here. We're going to make sure that no one doesn't get away. We're going to block them in. What you got to do is you've got to beat them to their own fighting positions. And I'm thinking, as soon as they hear these helicopters, they're going to do what they've always done, and they're going to, scramble, and having that home court advantage is pretty nice. Needless to say, they know the terrain a lot better than I did, having never been there at the time. So that was the plan. That was the plan. So we landed 2-3 o'clock in the morning, pitch black, night vision goggles, guns at the ready. I took my assault element, and we were able to beat them to it. We were caught in a situation where we were pinned down, and we were able to exchange fire, and then we were able to. My commander was able to call in rocket and air support from Apaches, ultimately eliminating the threat, and we won the day that day. So I thought that was a pretty cool story, winning the day. But that was just one day, and it was a good day. I am of the opinion of the reciprocity of gratitude, so I'd like to take this moment to thank all the veterans for your service from me to you. America, I'm of the belief America is truly a blessed nation for many reasons, opportunities for prosperity, or freedoms. However, at times we do fall short of gratitude, of where we got the things that we have, the things that we take for granted every day. But today, the 11th of November, is Veterans Day. So it's that opportunity for everyone, for all Americans, to thank servicemen for serving, and remember, how they got those things, and that's from the veterans that have served long before me, by securing and guaranteeing their safety, so we can have the opportunities, the prosperity, and the freedoms. And that is all that I have. It's been a pleasure, Union County, and until next time.
At this time, I would like to ask the commander of American Legion Post 153, Mitchell Bishop, to come up to the podium for a special presentation.
It was a great story, Scott. And when I heard that you were going to be the speaker, I knew, wow, this guy's going to have way better stories than last year's speaker, and be much more interesting. He's a man of action, and one of the things that occurred to me as he's telling you this story, he's leaving out a lot of details because he can't tell you what those details are. He's not supposed to, and a lot of the stuff that you see that's kind of vague in his resume, there's a reason for that. There's a lot of stuff that he's done, that Scott's done in Special Forces that he'll never be able to tell you about because it might be classified one day when we're old and rocking in chairs, sitting on the porch. Might be declassified that day one day. So one of the most important things that our education system does is produce better citizens. That's the point, to educate you and make you a better citizen and put you out into the world with skills and knowledge so you can go on to higher education, to the workforce, or into some type of service to make this country a better place. And part of the way that educators can do that job is to recognize those who have sacrificed so much for our freedoms. Veterans like our guest speaker, like Scott Thomas, veterans like the generations that have come before and given the ultimate sacrifice or written that blank check for the United States that would include up into their life that they would be willing to give, even if they were able to be fortunate enough to make it home. And so as educators, that is one of the most important things you can do, is to teach people about our history and about those who have secured our freedoms. And one particular educator that has been very, very, very good to veterans programs and the American Legion in particular has been our current superintendent, Carlton Falk. Now, I intend to present an award here today. I think that our superintendent-elect, Mr. Riplinger, is going to accept it on his behalf because Mr. Falk is with his wife, who's been ill and was unable to be here today. But all throughout his career as the superintendent, Mr. Falk has always supported not just the American Legion, but all veterans organizations, supported it with school functions in which the American Legion could do presentations. And although I know that this particular ceremony that's been going on for several years now was originally Mr. Riplinger's idea, this type of ceremony and many others like it have been something that Mr. Falk has always provided support for, made sure that the school was a part of, and his long service of recognizing veterans and all that they've done for this nation. So, Mr. Riplinger, if I could ask you to come up to accept it on his behalf, and I'll read the certificate. And it says, the American Legion Certificate of Appreciation. This certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to Carlton Falk in recognition and sincere appreciation of outstanding service and assistance which contributed to the advancement of the American Legion programs and activities dedicated to God and country. Lake Butler Post 153, Department of Florida, signed by the Adjutant and the Commander, 11 November 2020.
I know Mr. Falk would appreciate this, and I'll make sure that he gets that. And he regrets not being here today for the reasons that Judge Bishop mentioned. And just for many years, people have asked, why do we even have school on Veterans Day? And one of the things that Mr. Falk has always wanted is to have that avenue in which we could honor our veterans. And for many years, we are about the only district around so that we can take time to honor those who have protected this great nation. And that will continue for many years in the future. And we do thank the sacrifice and the service of our men and women in uniform. And we thank you to Master Sergeant Thomas today for his words, and for all the other graduates of Union County who have come before him and since him and have served this great nation, and we thank you for coming today. Thank you.
Before we close, I would like to thank Mr. Gordon and Master Sergeant Scott Thomas for joining us today and their contributions to the ceremony. I would also like to thank Colonel Kevin Steverson and Chief John Holstrom and the junior ROTC cadets for their support with today's ceremony. And I would like to thank Ms. Kelly Dorsey and the Symphonic Band for sharing your talents with us today. Quick announcement, immediately following the ceremony, VFW Post 10082 will be having an open house off Highway 231, and all of you are invited to attend that open house. As we depart today, it's my hope that our students and each of us today have a greater understanding and appreciation for what this day means and what it represents. And at this time, I'd like to just thank you for joining us today, and thank you to all of our veterans. And this concludes our ceremony. Thank you.